Well, last night, Israeli Air Force struck various other Hezbollah weapons storage facilities, including the terrorist group's naval unit. According to the IDF, Lebanese civilians were warned in advance of the strike. And today, Hezbollah terrorists responded with missiles launched at central Israel. No damage or injuries have been reported. Also today, IDF confirmed that 3 weeks ago it killed senior Hezbollah terrorist official Hashim Safi al-Din. He was the supposed heir to the now eliminated terrorist Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Antony Blinken has landed in Israel. It is his 11th trip to the Middle East since October 7th of last year. Blinken's purpose in making this 11th trip is to attempt to revive Gaza's ceasefire efforts. Now that Hamas terrorist leader Yahya Sinwar is dead is why he went. And various media outlets are reporting that Iran is rallying neighboring countries to defend it should Israel retaliate for Iran's October 1st missile attack on Israel. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said, quote, "All our neighbors have assured us that they won't allow their soil or airspace to be used against the Islamic Republic of Iran," end quote. Former spokesperson for Israeli Defense Forces and senior fellow at the Foundation for Defensive Democracies, Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Conricus, joins me. Good evening, sir. And the easy solution to finding out whether or not Lebanon denies it, that underneath the hospital are hundreds of millions of dollars in cash and gold, and refers to Zionist enemies, is just to do a walkthrough. I mean, to let IDF go in there and check it out.
Yes, Greta, either IDF or someone else that could be trusted. There's a lot of American diplomats in Beirut, for instance. They could go have a look. And not the dog and pony show that the Lebanese, that Hezbollah did with the media, where they brought them down and didn't go to the underground levels and didn't go to the hidden departments, but really actually go down. But you know, what I think is sadder is that this is a established pattern, and we see it all over with these Iranian terror organizations, that they specifically use sensitive humanitarian infrastructure very cynically, and they hide beneath it. We see it with Hamas and Islamic Jihad in Gaza. We see it with Hezbollah in Lebanon. And I wouldn't be surprised if when we get there, or when our missiles get there, we will see the same kind of abuse by the Iranians in Iran as well.
Well, of course, that's right out of the playbook of all of these terrorists. I mean, look how Hamas and others have used humans as human shields. I mean, look at the people who are still held hostage in Gaza. You know, they're planted next to senior Hamas leaders, so that in case you go in and try to rescue them, they either get you, or in case you go after the Hamas leader, then they execute the hostages.
Yes, we've seen that in the past, and there's very strong reason, strong intel to believe that the last 6 Israeli hostages that were executed by Hamas about a month and a half ago, including American-Israeli Hersh Goldberg Polin, were executed by Sinwar's entourage at the orders of Sinwar. They were found just a few hundred yards from the location where Sinwar himself was eliminated, and Israeli intelligence are trying to ascertain the connection between the two. But yes, this is a very sad and very well-established phenomena of how our enemies are fighting.
And of course, we just showed the video once again of Sinwar when he was eliminated. Let me turn to Secretary of State Blinken, making his 11th trip to Israel, hoping to get some sort of ceasefire. Any thoughts on the success that he's going to have in trying to convince Prime Minister Netanyahu?
I think Prime Minister Netanyahu isn't the one that needs to be convinced. He made an offer the night that Israel confirmed that Sinwar was eliminated. He said to the new established Hamas leadership, you can have some kind of way out of this by surrendering and giving us our hostages, 101 hostages, and then that would effectively end the war. But they have so far not answered. So the ones who need push, and then the ones who need to be convinced are Hamas, and that can be done through Qatar. All of Hamas's external political leadership is currently in Qatar, and they are there to be pressured by an American ally, Qatar, and America can put a lot of pressure on Qatar to do that on Hamas, and anybody who cares about the suffering of Palestinians and want the war to end, they should apply pressure on Qatar.
All right, we only have less than a minute left. I mean, I'm always struck by the fact, what cowards Iran is, that Iran has used Hamas and Hezbollah, and now they're running out of these proxies to do their dirty work. And I'm trying to think, at what point, is Iran going to do something? Iran, not the Iranian people, but the Iranian leadership.
Yeah, in short, I'd say that I hope that someday soon the Arabs will wake up and know that they're being used by Iranians just as expendable assets, which is very sad. And I'll say that I don't think that the Iranians are that brave. They're very good at playing with others. They're not that good at fighting. And I hope that the Arabs come to face reality and stop being the pawns in the Iranian chess game.
I'm even surprised, though, that Hezbollah and Hamas have been conned so much by the Iranians.
Well, Hamas, I wouldn't say that Hezbollah has been conned, because Hezbollah was built from the bottom up. Everything was provided by Iran. So they're really an embodiment of Iranian strategy. Hamas is kind of a different story. They're more hitchhikers. You could call them journeymen in the jihadi world. And they saw that Iran was there to hand out weapons and money, and they just took the opportunity. In hindsight, not a very clever strategic deal for Hamas, given their current situation.
Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Conricus, thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.